Good morning. Hello. Hope you're all doing well this morning. If you would like to stay in a seated position this morning, that would be great. But of course, you can always start in a reclined position if you prefer, if that's better for you this morning. So let's just settle into position, come to the present moment. We'll get straight into practice this morning. And I'd like to close the eyes and just soften the shoulders, soften the skin of the face. And just take these first few moments to notice what's going on for you this morning. So check in with yourself. Be aware of how you are feeling right now. You might like to take a few slow cleansing breaths. So breathing in through the nose and then blowing or sighing the breath out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's work with this once or twice more. Letting yourself settle into a quiet space where you feel at ease and comfortable. Taking some time to become aware of all external sensations around you, noticing sounds both near and far away. Noticing the temperature of the air on your face, on your skin. The light pressure of clothes against your skin. Perhaps aware of certain smells in your environment. Just observe all of these sensations. And then as you exhale, release their influence upon you. Then on your next inhalation, imagine you're breathing in the present moment. Be fully in this moment. And as you exhale, imagine you're letting go of the past, of yesterday and the day before that, the day before that. So breathe in the present moment and breathe out yesterday. Let's do this once more. Inhaling and letting go of the past. Now this time, let's breathe in the present moment. And as we exhale, letting go of all thoughts of the future. Later today, tomorrow, the day after that. So breathing in the here and now. And letting go of the future. Once more. Drop your awareness now down into your body, into your heart. Feel the space within your heart. Feel the expansion and contraction of the chest, soft and spacious. Breathe into your heart and allow the muscles around your heart to relax. Soft and open. Our practice this morning is designed around the idea of forgiveness. And forgiveness is connected to the heart, to Anahata Chakra, the energy center in the heart. So in a moment, we're going to work with a breathing practice to stimulate the heart. And then we're going to work with lots of practices to build us up and strengthen our courage to do this work, because it's not always easy. And we're going to conclude this morning with a 10 or 15-minute meditation on forgiveness. The Buddhist teacher Jack Kornfield says, forgiveness requires courage and clarity. Without forgiveness, life would be unbearable. It's hard to imagine a world without forgiveness, because we'd be chained to the suffering of the past and have only to repeat it over and over again. There would be no release. He says forgiveness releases us from the power of fear. It allows us to see with kindly eyes and rest in a wise heart. We may still be suffering terribly from the past, while those who betrayed us are on vacation. It is painful to hate. Without forgiveness, we continue to perpetuate the illusion that hate can heal our pain and the pain of others. In forgiveness, we let go and find relief in our heart. So just bring your full attention back to your heart, and I invite you now to rest your hands over your heart space. So we're going to start off with Brahmari Pranayama, beautiful, beautiful breathing practice, making the sound of a bumblebee and really focusing on the sound in the heart space. We're going to do this, work with it 3 different ways. The first way, in a moment, we're going to take the arms out to the side as we breathe in, and then we'll hum the hands back to the heart. So we're going to do 6 of these first. So let's exhale all breath to begin. And then breathing in. So 5 more like this. Breathe in, nice deep breath into the heart space. Let's keep going in your own time with your own breath. Stay with the practice. Last one. And when you finish, rest with the hands on the heart for a moment. Notice what's going on inside. So we're going to work with Brahmari a second way now, which is the more traditional way, which is to cover off our sense of hearing. So we block off the ears with our fingers. Now you can either have the hands as I do, but if this is a bit much for your shoulders, your arms, you can do it this way. Just have the index fingers closing off the ears. So we're going to do 6 of these now, if you can with the eyes closed, but if you feel a little bit claustrophobic, you can have the eyes open just with a soft downward glance. So let's, when you're ready, breathe in and then humming. So 5 more like this. When you finish, no rush, just release your hands down. Sit quietly, noticing, observing, breathing. So we'll work with a third different way of practicing Brahmari now. We'll do 6 hums silently. So it's Brahmari Pranayam done silently. So again, if you're comfortable, the eyes are closed. When you're ready, you can begin directing your full attention to the heart space. When you finish, keep the eyes closed, your full attention down in your heart space. See if you can visualize a tiny dot or point of light now in your heart space. Send the breath down to this light. Softening the face, make sure the shoulders are still relaxed. Good. Now we're going to work with Ganesha Mudra. Ganesha, the elephant god, is wonderful to work with when there's obstacles in our path or we're going through a bit of a challenging time. So Ganesha Mudra, we take a bear grip. I think you can probably see that. So you're clasping the fingers together and we just rest that at the level of the heart. Now we're going to just have a very soft grip as we breathe in. So a nice deep breath into the heart space. And as we exhale, we try to pull the fingers apart. This is really good for strengthening the heart muscle, opening the bronchial tubes. So again, when you need to inhale, just release that grip, let it be soft, deep breath into the heart. And then again, as you exhale, pull firmly. So you're trying to separate your hands. Good. It's good for the pectoral muscles and also increasing our courage and our confidence. So one more, soften the grip, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, squeeze, pull, pulling apart. Good. Now change the grip over, change the hands over. So the other hand is now in the back. So 3 more. So a soft grip as you breathe in. And as you exhale, pulling. Make sure you don't tense the face. 2 more of these. So soften the grip and trying to pull apart. And 1 more. And pull apart. When you finish, rest your hands back over your heart. And you might like to say to yourselves a few times, I embrace my courageous heart. I embrace my courageous heart. Now bring the palms together and we'll chant 3 Oms. Taking a deep breath in. Gently bow your head down towards your heart and lift the head up. And we'll bow forward now. So whether you're cross-legged or kneeling or in a chair, no matter. Just gently fold forward. You might like to keep the eyes closed. Just softening the shoulders, softening the back. So traditionally, the work of the heart begins with forgiveness, because forgiveness is understood to be the necessary ground for any healing. It's not something, though, that can occur quickly. And again, I quote Jack Cornfield. Forgiveness is a deep process of the heart. And in the process, you need to honor the betrayal of yourself or others, the grief, the anger, the hurt, the fear. It can take a long time. Let's gently come up and we're going to move into wheeling the body. So for this one, we can sit cross-legged, or if it's better for you, your legs can be in a diamond shape. So soles of the feet together, hands resting lightly on your knees or somewhere on the legs. And we're going to start to circle the upper body. So nice, slow circles. Make sure you're not clenching the teeth, relax the jaws, the tongue, the skin of the face. Good. And then gently come back to center. Now, if your legs are crossed, bring the other leg in front and we'll circle in the opposite direction. Good. Gently come back to center. Now again, either sitting cross-legged or you can come into a kneeling position. And on our next inhale, let's raise the arms up above the head. We'll interlace the fingers, turn the palms up, and we'll lean over to the left side. You can always keep the arms shoulder width apart if that's better for your shoulders. Breathe yourself back to center and to the other side. Inhale, center. Now we're moving into a twist, turning to the left. So right hand to the outside of the knee, left fingers on the floor behind you, or you might choose to wrap the left arm around the back, reaching towards your right thigh. So we're looking over the left shoulder, tucking the chin in a little so the back of the neck is long. Sitting up nice and tall. And breathing. Good. Inhale, come back to center, arms out to shoulder height. And exhale, let's turn to the right side. Good. Inhale, come back to center and exhale. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of work now just to loosen up the areas connected to the heart chakra. And this next one, it's a twist. It's really good for loosening up the upper back. You feel it working into the shoulders. So we have the fingers or the thumbs on the tip of the shoulders, fingers pointing down. We try to keep the elbows at shoulder height, and we start to just twist from side to side. So you can do this quite rapidly if that feels okay, or you can keep it slow. You might, after a few goes, like to blow the breath out through the mouth. Strong breath. Good, and then slow that down, come back to center, release the arms, give them a bit of a shake. Now this next one, we're going to have the arms up again, trying to keep the elbows at shoulder height, palms are facing down. With this one, we're going to take the arms back, so we squeeze the shoulder blades together, forward, we cross the arms, back, and then up, crossing the arms. So down, forward, back, up. And again, we can keep this slow or we can speed it up. When you are crossing the arms in front and above the head, try to alternate which one is in front each time. I always forget. Find that a bit of a challenge. Good. Good. And let's gently release, give the arms a shake, and we're going to come into extended child. I'd like to take socks off at this point if they're still on. So we have the big toes touching, knees at least hip width apart, arms extending forward. You all know this position really well. So once you find the shape that is right for you this morning, connecting with your breath. So long, smooth inhalation, filling the lungs. And a long, smooth exhalation, emptying, letting go. Good. Now you're welcome to stay as you are, or we can add a little lateral stretch here, walking the hands over to the left side. So hands can stay shoulder width apart, or some of you might like to rest your right palm on top of the left.
But just make sure the shoulders are level, that the right shoulder doesn't lift up if you do that. Breathing into the right side of the torso now. Good, and then come back to center, walk the hands around to the right side. So again, you might rest the left palm on top of the right or keep them apart. Good, and come back to center. We're going to work with a little flowing sequence, moving from child into cat, back into child. And if you'd like to join with me, we'll hum as we're exhaling back into child. And we'll work with some little affirmation or some words as we're inhaling. So let's exhale all breath to begin. Breathing in, coming up into cat, saying to yourself, I inhale courage and strength. And then humming back. I inhale courage, strength. Let's do 3 more like this, and then we'll add dog. I inhale courage, strength. Keep going. I inhale courage and strength. Now, when it's time for you to add dog, you come into cat. We'll hum into dog. We'll stay in dog for 1 breath, so there's no humming. And then come back down onto your knees and back into child. No humming. So we'll do this 3 more times. Breathe yourself up into cat. I inhale courage, strength. Staying in dog for 2 breaths this time. When it's time, you come back down onto your knees and release into child. And again, I inhale courage, strength. 3 breaths now in dog. If that's too much for you this morning, feel free to come down early. So know that you can always modify the practice, listen to your body and what's right for you at this moment in time. Turning to cat when you're ready, and into child. We're doing one more of these. I inhale courage, strength. Up to 4 breaths now. Holding dog, connecting with your breath. It's time you come into cat and rest in child, either now with your arms alongside you or supporting your head with your hands. Take a rest. Those of you who'd like a little bit of a semi-inversion at this point, you're welcome to interlace your fingers and lift onto the crown of the head, arms lifting up and over the head. Holding this for a few breaths. Otherwise, just staying in child, checking in with yourself. Good. If you're on the crown of the head, gently come down now. Rest for a breath or two. And then let's all once again extend the arms forward. We're going to lift up into dog and then work with the 3-legged dog. So let's inhale up onto the knees, tuck the toes, and into dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Now you're welcome to stay as you are or walk your feet together and we'll raise the right leg up. Ekapada Ardha Mukha Svanasana, our 3-legged dog. Flexing the right foot. On your next exhalation, you might like to bring that knee in towards your forehead, rounding the back. Inhale, stretch the leg back. Exhale, bring it in, knee to forehead. Inhale, back. Exhale, knee to forehead. Inhale, back. Now lower the right leg down and raise the left leg up. Flexing the foot. On your next exhale, you might like to bring the knee in towards the forehead. Inhale, back. 2 more of these. And then lower the left foot down. So you're back into dog. You're welcome to stay here for another 2 or 3 breaths, or some of you might like to come forward into plank. Come forward into plank, body in a straight line, your shoulders over the wrists, fingers spread nice and wide, middle fingers pointing straight ahead, opening the backs of the knees. And then from here, drop your knees. And those of you who'd like to join me, we'll do 5 of our yogi push-ups. So we have the knees down. Have a look if you're not sure. Otherwise, you can just rest if you don't want to work with these this morning. So we're going to come forward and bend the elbows in, lowering ourselves down, and then push up. So 4 more of these if we can. And last one. Good. Come back into child pose. Again, your arms can be alongside you or you're supporting your head with your hands. And have a rest. While you're resting, I'd like to share a poem with you
called The Perfect Cup. And as I share it, you might like to just reflect on the standards or expectations you have of yourself in life, whether you strive for perfection or expect perfection and then berate yourself when you don't achieve it. So here the invitation is to begin forgiving ourselves for our imperfections. It is time for me to see the flaws of myself and stop being alarmed. It is time for me to halt my drive for perfection and to accept my blemishes. It is time for me to receive slowly evolving growth, the kind that comes in God's own good time and pays no heed to my panicky pushing. It is time for me to embrace my humaneness, to love my incompleteness. It is time for me to cherish the unwanted, to welcome the unknown, to treasure the unfulfilled. If I wait to be perfect before I love myself, I will always be unsatisfied and ungrateful. If I wait until all the flaws, chips, and cracks disappear, I will be the cup that stands on the shelf and is never used. Okay, let's come up into a kneeling position. We're going to go through a few rounds of kneeling salute. So either a low kneeling position, or you can be up here if this is better for you as a start place. Nice tall spine, lengthening up through the crown top. Tuck the chin in a little and exhale all breath. Let's breathe in, take the arms up and breathe out. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down, face dog pose. Back into cat and child. Sliding along the floor, come through into a low cobra, elbows squeezing in, back into child. Inhale, come up. And exhale. And again, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes, down, face dog pose. Back into cat. And child. Sliding on the floor. And back. Inhale, come up. And exhale. We're going to add a couple of extra poses now, coming along with me. Inhale, cat, down, face dog pose. Back into cat. And child. So now sliding along the floor, come to lie on your tummy, palms together above your head, and we rest here for one breath. Then we take the arms and legs wide apart and we lift up. And lower, hands back alongside the chest. Breathe in, Bhujangasana. And exhale back. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do one like that again. Breathe in. Inhale, cat. And dog.
Sliding along the floor, come to lie on your tummy, rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide and lift. Hands back alongside your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Okay, this is our last one, and we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to add an extra pose from dog pose. So inhale, cat, tuck your toes down, face dog pose. Now hold this for a moment. I'm going to, in a moment, step the right foot forward and work with a variation of warrior one. So you can have a look if you're not sure. Looking towards your hands, step the right leg forward. And we're actually going to come up to stand. So carefully make your way up to stand. We try to stay on the ball of the left toes. So not putting the left heel down. And ideally our hips are square, facing forward. So you might even take the hands onto the hips for a moment, just to check that. Okay, arms release down, and then we're going to raise the arms up above the head. Hands are shoulder width apart. So now we're prepared to step into our warrior suit, connect with our inner warrior. As we exhale, we're going to bend the right leg, swing one arm forward and the other arm back. And then we straighten the right leg. So bend the front leg, one arm forward, the other arm back, circling the arms. Let's do a few more. You can keep it slow or you can speed it up. Again, just see what feels right for you this morning. No right, no wrong. Good. And then we'll bring the hands down on either side of the right foot. We're coming back into dog. Take a breath or two there. And then we're going to look towards our hands and step the left leg forward. Coming up. So we're on the ball of the right foot. Hips are square. Arms are down by our side. Chest is open. And then we raise the arms up. So as we exhale, we're bending the right leg, left leg, opposite arm forward this time. Circling the arms, bending the left leg, arms circling, keeping it slow or speeding it up a little bit. Face soft. One more. Good, and then release your arms down. We're coming to stand at the top of our mat, so step the right foot forward, and we're into Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a breath or two there. Soften your shoulders. And we're going to go straight into some bouncing. So feet are hip width, toes are spread, little bend in the legs, and we're bouncing. Perhaps a little sway. Might like to flick the fingers. Good. And then just start to slow that down and release, taking the arms up above the head once again. It's a bit more work for our arms and our shoulders because they're all connected to the heart chakra, anahata. So again, we're going to swing one arm forward and the other arm back, and you can have a little dip in the legs. So one arm forward, the other arm back. Again, we can keep this slow or we can speed it up. If you lose track, you get a bit lost, just start again. So take the arms up, pause,
And then try one arm forward, the other arm back. Good. Okay. Come back up, arm stretch up. So now we're reversing. So opposite arm forward. Good. Couple more. And release the arms down. Take the feet a comfortable distance apart. We'll do 3 stale air removers. So deep breath in through the nose, stretch the arms up, and we're blowing the breath out through the mouth. Legs can be bent or straight here. So 2 more of these. Breathe in, stretch up tall, and let it all go. And again. And slowly come up. Roll the shoulders back, step your feet back, hip width apart. Bring your hands to the heart space. We're going to go through a few rounds of circle of joy. So on your next inhale, interlace your fingers, raise the elbows. And as you exhale, round the back. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, lower the arms. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze the palms together. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then see if you can lift the arms. Inhale the arms forward. Now we'll hum the hands back to the heart. 2 more. Interlace the fingers. Breathe into the heart space. Lift your arms. And again. Take a breath there. From here, let's interlace the fingers and rest them over the heart space. We're going to do a little bit of squatting. So feet are hip width. We'll take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're bending the legs and we take the arms out in front, turning the palms away. Breathe in, hands come back to the heart and we straighten. And this time the hands go to eye level. So hands are up a little bit higher. Inhale, hands back to the heart. And lastly, we take the arms above the head as we squat. So that's the sequence. Let's do 2 more of these. So breathing in directly in front of your heart. Inhale. Eye level. And above the head. Directly in front. To eye level. And above the head. Hands back to the heart. Might like to sigh the breath away. And release. All right, for this next one, we need to take the legs a bit wider apart, and we come down, we see if we can hold on to the shins, or if you can, reaching down to the ankles. So this is a really good movement for increasing flexibility in the lower back, but it's also very good for the hips, the pelvic area, and it's recommended for sciatic pain. So we hold on to the lower legs or the ankles, and so we're dropping the buttocks as much as we can. We try to keep the back straight, and we have 11 little bounces. So you count to yourself, 11 little bounces, quite quick. When you finish the 11 little bounces, you breathe in, roll all the way up, and then go straight back down. And we do 11 again. So we do this, you can do this for a minute or two. We'll do it perhaps 5 times. So counting at the end of the 11, inhale, roll up, and exhale straight back down. 11 little bounces. So when it's time, inhale, roll up, and exhale. So 2 more of these. This is actually a movement from Kundalini Yoga. Inhale, roll up. And last one. And step the feet together. You can even give yourself a bit of a shake. Okay. We're going to move into another warrior now, warrior 2. So we'll take the legs wide, turn your right toes around, left toes in. This is a flowing version of warrior 2. So connecting with our courage, our strength. Arms by your side. Soften the shoulders. Exhale all breath. Breathing in, raise the arms, turn to the right. And as we breathe out, we bend the right leg. Now from here, as we do the next inhale, we're going to straighten the right leg, bring the arms in, draw the hands up through our center, and exhale back into warrior 2. So let's do 2 more of these. So breathe in, straighten the front leg, draw the hands up through your center. Imagine you're filling yourself up with courage and strength, and exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now hold warrior 2, and we'll move into dancing warrior. So inhale, turn the right palm up, and exhale. Windmill the arms backwards. So left hand on your left leg, breathing into that right side of the torso. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale. Let's turn the legs around, feet around. Exhale all breath. Breathe in, raise the arms, turn to the left, and exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Bring the hands up through your center. And exhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then holding the pose. Inhale, turn that left palm up, and exhale, dancing warrior. Good. Inhale, back into warrior 2, and exhale. Step the feet together. Walk on the spot. Okay, our last standing pose will be a balance. We'll start with focus pose, and those of you who'd like to can move into a variation of warrior 3. So we'll do it sideways. Feet are hip width to start. And we're going to shift the weight into the left foot and pick up the right. Hands go in front. Palms are facing each other. Hands are shoulder width apart. Just soften your shoulders. So ideally this right thigh is parallel to the floor. We're lengthening up through the crown top. Now, if you would like to stay here, please do that. If you'd like to try moving into a variation of warrior 3, we take the right leg back. We start to lean forward, taking the arms back behind us. So ideally that right leg is parallel to the floor. We're pushing out through the heel. We're breathing. And then we slowly come back through focus pose and lower. So let's try the other side. Weight into the right foot, pick up the left. Focus pose, lengthening up through the crown top. Breathing into your heart space. So choosing to stay here or starting to lean forward, taking the left leg back, arms back. Flexing the left foot. Breathing. And slowly reverse, coming back through focus pose. And release. Rest your hands over your heart. You might like to close the eyes. And you might like to say to yourselves a few times, I forgive myself. I am enough. I forgive myself. I am enough. Gently release your arms. And we'll come to lie down onto our tummies. Just rest one hand on top of the other, your chin or your forehead on your hands. And just rest for these first few moments. Jack Cornfield writes, in difficulties, we can learn the true strength of our practice. At these times, the wisdom we have cultivated and depth of our love and forgiveness is our chief resource. To meditate, to pray, to practice at such times can be like pouring soothing balm onto the aches of our heart. The great forces of greed, hatred, fear, and ignorance that we encounter can be met by the equally, great courage of our heart. Such strength of heart comes from knowing that the pain that we each must bear is a part of the greater pain shared by all that lives. It is not just our pain, but the pain. And realizing this awakens our universal compassion. All right, let's work with a variation of locust shalabhasana. I think you all know this one. So we're going to release the arms down by our side, head turns to one side, feet are hip width apart, and we exhale all breath here. On the next inhalation, we bring the head to center, we lift the legs and we lift the arms. Palms are facing each other.
And as we exhale, we lower and we turn the head the opposite way. So breathe in, we lift. And lower as we exhale. Head alternates from side to side. So continue working with this. With your breath. A few more times. Make this your last round, and you might like to hold the last pose for a few breaths. Hold Shalabhasana. When you've had enough, come down, take a breath or two there. And then we're going to roll over onto one side. So before we come up for our meditation, we're just going to work with a twist. This is, excuse me, sometimes I call this the clock twist. If you would like a little pillow under your head or a blanket, grab some support for your head. The top knee is on top of the bottom knee. Our shoulder and our hip are in a straight line, so we've got a good alignment for our spine. And then our arms are out at shoulder height, the top palm on top of the bottom palm. So our top hand is like the hand of the clock that's going to be circling around. So please watch if you're not quite sure, and then you can join in. So we exhale all breath here. And as we breathe in, we take this arm above the head, reaching up to number 12 on the clock. And as we exhale, we circle it around to the other side. We keep exhaling until that hand crosses over the hip. And then we breathe in. So making nice, slow circles with this top arm. Take it above the head. And exhale around to the other side. You can let that top knee lift if the twist is a bit intense, or keep them squeezing together for more of a challenge. So let's just do 2 or 3 more circles. And then when you finish this next circle, we will roll onto our backs and then onto the other side and do the same. So check that your hip and your shoulder are in a straight line. Your head has any support it might need. And when you're ready, circling that top arm above your head as you breathe in. And breathe out around to the opposite side. Top knee may lift or be squeezing together, crosses over the hip, and then breathe in, circling around and again above the head, and exhale. Might feel quite different on this side, depending on what's going on in your shoulder. Good, a couple more. Make this your last one. And when that hand comes back to rest on top of the bottom palm, just take a breath there. And then we'll carefully come up. We're going to move into our meditation. So feel free to come to a seated position, or you can lie down if you're really low in energy this morning. I'll come up a little bit closer now.
We'll be sitting perhaps for 10 minutes, and then we'll have a very short Shavasana. If you need to leave right on time, I apologise if we're going over a little bit this morning. As I mentioned earlier, this is a forgiveness meditation, and the practice helps us to cultivate the capacity to forgive. In this practice, we'll be asking for and extending forgiveness in 3 different directions. So to begin, close the eyes, soften the shoulders, soften the face, and once again, drop your gaze down to your heart space. Feel the breath flowing gently into and out of your heart. Notice if your heart feels a little tight and constricted this morning, or if it feels light and soft and open. No judgment, accepting all. Please know as we move into this practice that if you become a bit upset or unsettled or disturbed at any point, you can withdraw from the practice, return to your breath, just let it go. So to begin, I invite you to remember a time when you might have hurt another person. Might have been yesterday, might have been a year ago, might have been 20 or 30 years ago. Bring to mind a person that you might have hurt. Visualize this time, this person, if you can. And be aware of your own sorrow and regret. Be aware of the pain you have caused, perhaps due to your own fear and confusion. Take as much time as you need now to picture this scenario that still burdens your heart. Now sense that you can finally release this burden and ask for forgiveness. As you hold this person's face in your mind, in your heart, gently say to them, I ask for forgiveness. I ask for forgiveness. Repeat this over and over again. I ask for forgiveness. I ask for forgiveness. And then release the image of this person. Bring your awareness back to your own precious body and life. Feel the breath moving through you. Now be aware of the ways you have harmed or hurt yourself, beaten yourself up, punished yourself, been cruel towards yourself. Picture these times. Remember these moments. Feel the sorrow you have carried from these moments. And sense that it is now time to release these burdens. It is now time to extend forgiveness to yourself. Repeating to yourself now, for the ways I have hurt myself through action or inaction, out of fear, pain, or confusion, I now forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. For the ways I have hurt myself through action or inaction, out of fear, pain, or confusion, I now forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Finally, we have each been betrayed. We have each been hurt by another. So I invite you now to picture and remember one moment of being betrayed or hurt by another, whether it was yesterday, last year, or 20 or 30 years ago. Feel the sorrow and pain and sadness that you have carried from this experience. And if you feel unable to forgive this person yet, if you still feel extremely angry or betrayed, that's okay. Be forgiving of yourself for not being ready to let go. Forgiveness cannot be forced. It cannot be artificial. You might say to yourself at this point, it is my intention to forgive you when I am able. It is my intention to forgive you when I am able. If your heart feels ready now to forgive, you might like to say, I remember the way that you hurt, wounded, or harmed me. I have carried this pain in my heart long enough. To the extent that I am ready, I offer forgiveness. To those who have caused me harm, I offer my forgiveness. I forgive you. Jack Cornfield writes, forgiveness does not happen quickly. For great injustice, coming to forgiveness may include a long process of grief, outrage, sadness, loss, and pain. True forgiveness does not paper over what has happened in a superficial way. It is not a misguided effort to suppress or ignore our pain. It cannot be hurried. It is a deep process repeated over and over in our heart, which honors the grief and betrayal, and in its own time ripens into the freedom to truly forgive. Forgiveness does not forget, nor does it condone the past. Forgiveness sees wisely. It willingly acknowledges what is unjust, harmful, and wrong. It bravely recognizes the sufferings of the past and understands the conditions that brought them about. There is strength to forgiveness. When we forgive, we can also say, never again will I allow these things to happen. We may resolve to never again permit such harm to come to ourselves or another. Let's gently now release from this practice. And for the next 2 or 3 minutes, either come to lie down for a short relaxation or feel free to stay as you are in a seated position. Just feel now that you are letting go, allowing the out breath to be a little longer than your in breath. Letting go, let the body drop, let the mind drop, let the heart be easy. In the epic tale of the Bhagavad Gita, it is written, if you want to see the brave, look to those who can return love for hatred. If you want to see the heroic, look to those who can forgive. If you'd like to remain lying down a little longer, feel free to do just that. If you are ready to get on with the rest of your day, just have a little bit of a stretch. Deepen the breath. Roll over to one side and slowly make your way up into a seated position. We'll close our practice this morning with one Om. Bring the hands together at the heart space. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining me this morning. If you're feeling a little bit fragile after the practice, you can stir up a bit. Just go gently. If you can, make yourself a lovely warm cup of tea or something and try and sit somewhere warm, and even could do a little bit of writing if you felt some stuff came up that needs to be looked at. Go gently, and I will keep in touch with you. Thank you. Bye.